What's up everybody, Coach here. Now it's no secret I play a metric fuck ton of video games. And with all that happened in 2020, that number has only gone up. I mean, I played a lot of video games. I played some big whopping big boy games and some games that shouldn't have ever been released. And I'm here to share those experiences with you guys. Keep in mind that the game didn't necessarily have to come out this year, I just had to play it this year. With that said, I've given extra points to games that actually did come out this year. Let's get into this list, boys and girls. Guys, I have a confession to make. I am a massive weeb.
Garugamesh!
I know when you look at me, you see cool and calm and strong. But underneath all that, I'm just this junk food loving, anime binging weeb. And Fairy Tail is one of very few anime that hooked me from the beginning. So naturally, when I heard they were making a Fairy Tail game, I did what any weeb would. I dismissed it as being terrible, but bought it anyway like a jackass. But cue the Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Turns out, I'm not a jackass. My soy sauce soaked hopes were not in vain. The game is actually really fun. Fairy Tail is a turn-based RPG that's eerily reminiscent of classic Final Fantasy games, and it covers most of the main Fairy Tail storyline. The game does a lot right. It's so true to the show and its characters that you know the creators just had to have a hand in the production of this game. But it suffers from extremely overpriced, mostly cosmetic DLC and way too much fan service. Honestly, sometimes I just wanted to do a couple of guild requests and I ended up with a sock that was unusable. All in all, it's a super refreshing take on anime games and it's worth picking up if you're a fan of the show or just want a quick taste of what the series is all about. Man, I gotta be honest with you guys. I really just started playing this because it had some dope ass music and it was an amazing way to kill time when I was streaming and didn't know what to play. But man, it became so much more. This game is fun. It's fun as hell. Steam says I've already poured over 100 hours into this game and I still suck. But the beauty of this game is that everyone sucks a Costco family packs of dicks at it. Your teammates are constantly abandoning the goalpost and ramming into you when you're setting up the perfect shot that would cement your legacy as the next Yangwei Macadang Dang Jr. But guys, the moment-to-moment gameplay is so goddamn addicting that all your frustrations will be instantly erased the moment you hit that perfect shot to put the game away for your team. Rocket League has now gone free to play and I cannot recommend the game enough for anyone looking for something exciting to play.
Control
is a very odd game to say the least. I only picked it up because I love redhead girls and I did not mind simping for a character that seemed attractive in passing. Upon closer inspection, she's just okay looking. But that's not what this is about. The best way to describe this game would be like a Metroidvania with an X-Files twist. There is a huge emphasis on backtracking and exploration inside this big-ass building known as the Federal Bureau of Control. So there are like these altered item things that are like distorting shit, making things not what they appear. There's some weird ass janitor dude. You're some redhead bitch looking for her brother, who apparently is some sort of fucking prisoner, and you guys witnessed some altered item event that you weren't supposed to witness. If it's not obvious by now, I am confused as hell. Listen guys, I did not get an A+ in Storytelling 101, but I can tell you that this is an amazing game with a seemingly complex but engaging story with the occasional twist, and it's a lot of fun. Well, that is when you're not fighting some cheap-ass boss named the Anchor, who is just the biggest piece of shit. Anyway, they've just released some DLC story expansions that I haven't checked out, so I'm looking forward to revisiting this one myself. I know this is blasphemous coming from a Nintendo fan, but I've never been a fan of this series. I remember seeing all the hype surrounding this game and I was like, oh, another live your best life sim game. That's gonna be mediocre. And goddamn was I wrong. I remember sitting on my PC playing Doom Eternal and I started hearing these high-pitched annoying ass squeaking noises behind me. So I turn around and I see my fiance on the bed playing with the Switch. Now you have to understand, this is a very rare occurrence. It doesn't happen very often, so I was immediately intrigued. So I went over to see what was going on and she was in a cartoony airport talking to this little raccoon bastard. As I watched her play, it only took me about 3 seconds to realize that it was a dumb game and I was never gonna play it. So naturally I picked up the Switch the first opportunity I had and I joined my fiance's island. To this day I still don't understand why, but there's something immediately satisfying about virtual bug catching, material gathering, fishing, fossil collecting, and dodging my neighbors to avoid getting my 40th reaction command. Within minutes, this game that I had dismissed as Dumbass Simulator 2020 had me pestering my fiance to collect stacks of wood and iron nuggets so our fearless leader Tom Nook and his dumbass apprentices could make a nicer shop for our island that has a Dropbox because it would enable me to sell my inventory full of sea bass after hours. Also, if you haven't done so, go jam out to the Able Sisters theme song. It is so damn good. Cards on the table. This was my most anticipated game of 2020. I literally used my vacation time at work to be off the week of its release, and then had to change those days off because it got delayed until April. The good news is, April's my birthday, so I had those days off anyway. Now in this game, there's a lot to unpack. Most people really didn't like the fact that it was revealed to be episodic, but since I knew that going in, I'm just going to treat it as its own game. If you're a fan of the original, as I was, you're going to have a love-hate relationship with this one. It's amazing to see the characters we know and love not look like polygonal Play-Doh, and the remastered music tracks are to die for. There are loads of new side quests and minigames such as Break the Box, the Arena, and the Gym Challenges. The biggest problem this game has comes down to the old adage, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. There were some creative story changes made here for the sake of making the game feel more climactic, but honestly, it really didn't add much and it deviates from the source material in a way that makes me worry about future installments. However, the saving grace here is the combat. It's easy to pick up, but hard to master. There are a variety of different builds and weapon abilities you can outfit your character with that can drastically alter how they're played. I don't want my detracting point to deter you from playing the game if you haven't done so already. It's a phenomenal game. It just has a couple of issues that we can only hope are corrected in the next installment. Japan inspired Dark Souls with the greatest combat known to man. Hold the phone there, buddy. You're just gonna gloss over one of the greatest games we've ever played like that? Alright, what I said earlier isn't wrong, it's just the too long didn't listen version. Sekiro is another From Software gem with a feudal Japan skin slapped right on it. Unlike most From Software games, the story here is really easy to follow, and character side quests are a little less ambiguous. What really separates Sekiro from other FromSoft games is the combat. It's much more limited, but that works in its favor. Since you can't really customize your builds as heavily as you would in something like Dark Souls, the combat is much more streamlined, making for the best combat I've ever experienced in a video game. If you're a Soulsborne veteran, do yourself a favor and forget everything you've learned. Don't let your 497 deaths fool you. It is possible to beat this game if you have a lot of patience and play the game the way the game wants you to. If you refuse to learn your parries and Mediki counters, you're gonna have a bad time. There's a lot of room for exploration and it's often a pretty rewarding experience. If it wasn't for our first place game being such a huge breath of fresh air, this game would have easily taken the top spot. Ghost of Tsushima is not only the best game I've played this year, but probably the best game I've played in the last couple of years. Have you ever spoken to an Assassin's Creed fanboy and listened to all the things they promise are awesome about their series, and then you went on to play the game and you're like, what the hell is this? Ghost of Tsushima is a lot like that if the things Benzo Auditore over here told you were actually true. This game has stealth, it has sexy kills, it has cool cosmetics, it has a world full of shit to do. It has side characters with stories that rival the main stories of other games. It has fox dens where you can find a cute ass fox, follow it to a shrine, pray together, and then pet the fox. What the hell, Sucker Punch Studios? Can I take you to dinner or something? God damn, I love this game. Environmentally, I have no problem saying that this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most beautiful game I have ever played. There are so many flowers that are also beautifully rendered, and the samurai duels are so cinematic I lean forward every single time that I start one. There are also cutscenes where you get some nice Japanese man ass every time you go bathe in the hot springs, and honestly, that awoke something in me I'm not ready to talk about yet.
So good and tasty?
If you told me that I had to give you a 10 out of 10 game for 2020, this would be my choice without a second thought. The only thing I didn't like about this game is that there is no way to delete a platinum trophy on my PlayStation so I can go through all this shit again, because god damn it, I said it already, I love this game. I don't know how in the hell you'd go about making a sequel to a game like this, but I'm all for it. Do yourself a favor and play this game. I'll even buy it for you. I'm just kidding. I won't. I mean, if you send me the money first, I'll do it, but you know, whatever. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video and sticking around to the end. If you like video game related content like this, you should definitely give me a follow on Twitch. The link is in the description right down below. Also, why stick to chatting in the YouTube comment box? There's plenty of social media you can find me on, also in the description right down below. This is Coach exiting the field, and I'll see you guys in the next one.